It's good to see you again. I wanted to check in first before we started our session. How have things been going since our last session, especially with your work-related anxiety?
Um, Pretty much the same. I've still been feeling a lot of anxiety, right before my shift starts, and then anytime that a call comes and I have to get ready to go out. Um, and I still have been having a hard time talking to my family and friends. And definitely after work, I just get home and crash, and isolate. So I would say things have kind of been going the same as they were last time.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. On a scale to 1 to 10, how intense has that anxiety been when you think about going to work or involving your family and friends in your life?
Um, I would say maybe an 8 or 9.
Okay, so very intense. Okay. And what thoughts usually come up when you start thinking about work?
Um, that something bad is going to happen again,
Yeah.
that I'm going to go out on another call, and either get hurt or see something bad again.
Makes sense, absolutely. Today I'd like to work with you on a coping strategy that can help reduce the anxiety you're feeling and begin helping you feel more in control when thoughts about work come up. Sometimes after a traumatic event, our mind and body begin to associate similar situations with the danger. And so even when we're safe, we still begin to associate those. So the goal here is to help you learn your mind to learn that going to work does not automatically mean the same accident will happen again. Um, so I'm going to ask you a series of questions, so that you can identify, the issues that are going on and how we can kind of switch your brain from feeling like it's always danger, danger, danger.
Mhm.
So when you think about going back to work, what is the first thought that comes to your mind?
Something bad will happen.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. I could see that. That makes a lot of sense, given what you experienced and what you rolled in on. Um, let's slow that thought down a little bit. When that thought comes up, what does it make you believe might happen?
Um, that I'll get hurt on the job.
Makes sense. Absolutely. Okay. Look at that thought together. The thought is if I go to work, I might experience a traumatic event, accident where I'm going to get hurt. While it's true that difficult calls are part of the job, it may also be true that you have training support and coping tools that can help you manage those situations. What might be a more balanced thought we could practice when the anxiety starts for you when you're going to work?
Um, Maybe that I could get hurt, but I have a team supporting me to help me out and watch out for me.
Okay, excellent, excellent treatment intervention. I'm going to introduce a concrete coping skill. I'd like to practice a grounding technique with you that you can use before work or when you're feeling on edge. Um, I can try a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding technique. Are you okay with trying that together?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me 5 things you can see, then 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, and 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can feel in your body. So
Um,
you can go ahead and do that.
I can see my computer, my phone, my desk, um, my dog. I think that.
That was 5, yeah.
Okay. And then you said 4 things I
Things you can
can.
touch.
Okay. I can touch my computer. Um, I can touch my sweatshirt. Um, my desk, my phone, um, and my bag right here.
And then three things you can hear.
I can hear you. I can hear the TV in the other room. And I can hear my dog snoring.
Two things you can smell.
Um, I can smell the laundry going and dinner cooking.
And one thing you can feel in your body.
Um, I can feel uh that I'm tired.
Okay. And how do you feel right now compared to before we started that technique or
I
the
definitely
grounding technique?
I feel more present, I would say. And
Okay.
more grounded.
Absolutely. That's great. Um, so the reason we're practicing this is because it directly supports your goal of being able to return to work without feeling constantly on edge.
Hmm.
The more we practice these tools or you practice these tools, the more confidence you can build. Um, so rather than forcing yourself to jump back in all at once, we can take gradual steps. What feels like a manageable first step toward work?
Um,
I can give you
Maybe
some examples like driving by work, putting on a uniform, talking with a coworker, attending partial shifts, just so you can get back to feeling some type of manageability.
going to partial shifts, or not calling out, because I've been doing that a lot. So just actually being at work, um, and getting used to being there.
So what I'm hearing is so instead of having a full, typically you would have a full shift. Instead of doing that and calling out, you would just do a partial shift. Is that,
Right.
yeah, that's great, excellent treatment option. I love that. So this week, I'd like you to practice the grounding exercise once a day and notice what thoughts come up when you think about work. Um, and then next session, we can continue building on this and work on the next steps towards your goals. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Perfect. Alrighty then, I will see you next week, and it was nice to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.